of the food, the speed of service.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of different things, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
you are.
I am sorry. So edit the restaurant menu. What do you guys want to do? So this is the typical kind of diner menu.
Yeah.
So there's one extra sort of little piece of UI that you might notice here from that's different from the other menu we were looking at, which is this difficulty that Dave is pointing at. The difficulty indicates how difficult the food is to cook. And it's one thing you want to watch out for, because if you have overly difficult food for an unskilled chef, and I believe we hired a chef that had a cooking and mixology skill 1, then he probably is going to burn the food, or it's not going to be very high quality, and then your customers are not going to be very happy. So we might want to pull the higher difficulty foods off for now if we don't want Sims getting unhappy with the occasional low quality dish.
Cool. Yeah, I think for a starting restaurant where we have kind of unskilled, untrained employees, it's probably best not to tax them too hard.
And as your chef gets better, then you're free to do the higher difficulty foods, which also happen to cost a lot more, so you'll be making a lot more money if you choose those.
So we did show off how you can customize the outfits for the staff, but let's just jump into cast real fast just so we can show off a few more assets that we have. Okay, so just looking at full body, we definitely have a few different kind of staff uniforms, really to kind of sell both those high-end, luxurious restaurants as well as your more kind of, I don't know, hole-in-the-wall burger joints. So you can see kind of the high-end,
Yeah, super nice.
mid-grade maybe, kind of low-end. Let's go ahead and just look at everybody real fast. Again, just tons of different colors, a couple of new actual just outfits.
Oh yeah, because we basically wanted to help have some nice outfits to go visit restaurants in too. So there's a few of those as well.
Right. So again, we're just seeing the female assets here. Kids have a few. Adult males also have a few.
What about the flare?
The flare. So I think the flare is in tops only. It's filter by pack.
It's one of my favorite pieces.
New top. And you gotta have your flare.
Gotta put some bottoms on that lady.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh,
It's up to you.
Too
You
late.
can build any kind of restaurant you want, Dave.
this is the restaurant I want.
Okay. Interesting.
I really want to express myself.
Only the women, I
We don't have enough time to go
okay.
in and fully
Add pants, yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna hop back in there? There's a few more things we might want to look at as far as customization goes.
Sure. It's gonna actually show off. So our sim here, new hairstyle, new full body outfit. Really think she looks pretty darn sharp. I'm sorry, she's tired. We're not giving her a lot of chance to rest, are we? I'm sorry. But anyways, you wanted me to go back into cast?
Not into cast, into the customization. There's a few other
Gotcha.
things that we at least might want to look at in here. So yeah, setting your menu is pretty important, and setting your price markup. Those are definitely the most important. Again, you can set your dress code. What are we gonna go with today?
What do you guys want?
Sleepwear. I kind of want to see some pajamas.
Pajama restaurant.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. So should we
Cool.
start?
So I
running
think
the
we have
restaurant?
everything.
Yeah.
We do start off at 1 star. So the goal of your business, well, I guess there's 2 goals, right? One is to become a 5-star restaurant, the best reputation around. And I guess the other goal is to make some money.
Yeah.
Make lots of money.
It's actually kind of interesting. You can have a 5-star restaurant that might not be very profitable. In fact, you could be losing money.
Yeah.
And conversely, you could have that 1-star hole in the wall that you actually are making money off of.
Yes. And I also believe there have been some questions about sort of the types of restaurants you can build. For instance, can I make a restaurant that has kind of low-end food and have it be really successful? And the answer is yes. You could. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Dave. It's okay. She's gonna be in the back. You can't see. She looks
It's the chef.
totally professional.
Great. I don't even know what I'm saying.
So our host has arrived. Waiters arrived. Our lovely chef has arrived. Everybody is ready to go. It's open for business, and customers are now arriving. It's probably going to be a slow shift because it is 1 a.m.
Yeah.
and we are running a
That's why they're in
low-end
their
restaurant.
pajamas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See,
Maybe
maybe
the restaurant's only going to stay open in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It's a middle of the night diner.
So there's a couple of things. One, you'll see each diner has their current star rating represented above their head. In fact, we just saw these diners immediately go from 3 stars down to 2, and I wonder why that is.
Yeah, so everyone walks in to the restaurant sort of having a neutral 3-star view of the restaurant. And then as things occur to them in the restaurant, then they'll either raise or lower their stars. And you can sort of see icons that appear over their heads whenever those events occur. And you can mouse over them to see what the most recent event was. So for instance, what happened to these Sims? Seems like they wish there was more friendly service.
So I think our low-end host greeted them a little rudely.
Yeah, and as you skill up your host, then she'll be better at having nice greetings, which will really increase how people feel about the restaurant.
So as the owner, I have several customer interactions under the management menu. I'm going to try to counteract that host by actually welcoming these diners in.
Yeah, so we were talking before about the fact that you as the manager are really, acting like the manager. So if you went to an actual restaurant and the manager came out and personally welcomed you or personally checked on you, then I think you'd probably feel a lot better about your experience there. So that's a few of the things that you can kind of do on every sim that comes in if you want, or every party.
And you can see that little event, that little icon that popped up above their star rating. So when good things happen to diners, you're going to see a little green pop-up. When bad things happen, you're going to see a little red pop-up. And then when you mouse over, that should reflect. So it looks like that personal attention, that personal touch that I'm known for, really paid off.
Are you known for that?
I'm known for that.
Okay, I didn't know that about you.
Now you know. Okay, so our owner is playing on the phone. Maybe not a good look to do right in front of customers. So while they're waiting for their food, maybe we can show off some of the employee management that you can do.
So,
So there are a bunch of socials that you can do on your employees to affect their performance in the restaurant. You can check up on them to see how they're doing, if they're happy with their job, or if your employee is doing things that you don't want them to do, you could criticize them. That would probably make them a little bit dissatisfied with their job, though, because their boss is yelling at them. And then if your employee's doing a good job, you can praise them, and they'll feel a little better. Why would you not
because he
praise
was
them?
rude to those first diners, and he says, but, I'm trying not to mess up. He
It's
did
his
mess up.
first day on the job.
He's
Give
lucky
him
he doesn't get fired.
You are a harsh manager.
Lead with the stick.
Ah, I see. And it's actually good. Criticizing him will make him do a little better. It'll at least briefly make him work harder, so you will have a positive effect from that too.
And you did say that if I criticize him, I got to be careful because I could make him unsatisfied.
Yeah.
I do know at any time I can actually go in and actually check out my employees, and they'll tell me how they're actually feeling. So yeah, I was a little rude to Grady. I think he deserved it, but it looks like he's still feeling neutral. He's relatively satisfied with the job.
He's not going to stay that way if you keep yelling at him.
True. So, I don't want to just be mean to my employees,
Yeah.
so let me think about the future for a little bit. He is super low level. It is his first day on the job, so perhaps if I pay for some training, that might help his skills for future shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you pay for training, which you can do on any of the Sims, cost you a little money, and then as soon as they get off their shift, they'll go train, and they'll come back with a bit higher of a skill level. So it's a way to invest money into getting your Sims to be a higher skill more quickly.
Hey, Mort. Glad to see you.
So we're getting a decent number of Sims, but it's still only 3:48 a.m. in the morning, so we're not going to see very many Sims. The time of day really does affect how many Sims are coming to your restaurant. So a 1-star restaurant, middle of the night, you're really not going to see. You probably see one group at a time. But when we hit the breakfast or lunch or dinner rush, then we'll see a big influx of Sims. That has a fairly large effect, but the other thing that has a major effect is your rating. So at 1 stars, you'll really only see a few Sims, but as that star rating goes up, you're going to see more and more sims coming to the point where you might see as many as 16 customers coming to your restaurant if you're at 5 stars during the dinner rush, or if you paid for some advertising or something like that. She's getting tired.
This was a long day for her.
Personally, I like to put a bed in the back of my restaurant and just have my sims sleep there. That way, just kind of keep an eye on the restaurant while not having to go home.
Bit of a workaholic.
So I at least let my guys go home.
But I'm polite to all my workers, so.
So not too bad. We actually just got these guys up to 3 stars, which is higher than our average rating right now. What's kind of cool about the star rating, I can hover over it at any time to actually see what's going right with my restaurant and where's my kind of areas of opportunities.
Okay.
So right now I can see my growth opportunities. My service is a little low, which I saw with the host. Hopefully the training will kind of attack that for the future. And the meal quality. Looks like the meal quality's not doing so great.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a level 1 chef, so
maybe training up that chef. Or even getting some of those level 2 difficulty items off the menu might help out a bit too. Looks like the meal value though is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, that minimal markup that you chose is really helping your rating stay a little higher.
So while this is going, I'm gonna speed to it, see if we can get to the morning a little bit more. Another thing that's new for the pack, so with retail, you actually have to be on the retail lot in order to open your business. You must actually be there. Restaurants, on the other hand, we're going to allow you to run even when you're not there. So we've already actually bought the Diving Pelican. We can actually open it while we're right here. We'll see reviews come in over time. We can see those ratings actually change. We can make money, we can lose money, all when we're not there. And you can open up as many of these as you want.
Yeah, so a little more about how that works. If you left your restaurant sort of in a successful state, then it'll just keep making money. It'll basically make a somewhat similar, a little lower amount than if you were there. Although since you're not there to kind of make sure everything is going really well, that rating will start to sort of decay slowly over time. So you'll occasionally have to go back and visit your restaurant and make sure you bring that rating back up in order to keep your restaurant profitable. But it's really a great way to, say, make a whole chain of restaurants, and then you can make it a full-time job where you're running 7 restaurants, and every day you go to one of the other restaurants and sort of bring that rating back up, and then those other ones are all running and they're all pulling in money. Really wanted to make it so restaurants could be a really lucrative business. So even running one restaurant, if you get it like really going, really high-end restaurant with really 5 stars, you'll be making more money, I think, than pretty much any career. And if you could get multiple of those restaurants going, then you can really be raking in the cash.
So I wanted to pause here just for a couple of quick things. One thing that we neglected to show when you were a diner at the restaurant, there's a ton of new food-oriented socials.
Oh, yeah.
So when your food's delivered and you're eating, if you were to click on another sim, there's a ton of new friendly options that are discussing the flavors, discussing how the chef did, etc. Also, I wanted to just take a second. So these diners actually got served their food, and now we can better see some of these management options. So we saw the welcome and the check on table. You can do those to a dining group once while they're in the restaurant. And then some of these other ones are, I don't know if more powerful is the right way to say it.
But it'll make them happy. Yeah.
Definitely. But there's some negatives that could come with it too, right?
Yeah, so the idea is if something really bad might have happened in your restaurant, say your waiter spilled food and it took a really long time to come, or they got badly prepared food delivered, then they might be down to a 1-star rating or something like that. And you really don't want that. So there's a couple of different things you can do. For instance, you can just comp their entire meal, and that'll make them a lot happier. I mean, everyone loves to have a free meal, no matter how bad it is. Or you could give them a free round of drinks or a free round of dessert in order to just up that rating a little bit, or both.
So I just comped the meal right now, sorry to interrupt. And you saw that my funds actually went down a little bit because they're no longer paying. And I also got some perk points. Do you want to take us through perk points?
Oh yeah, sure. So perk points should be familiar to you if you've played retail and get to work. We have a bunch of perk options available. like very restaurant-oriented things, like curious customers. That one unlocks a new social called Recommend Dish that allows you to actually recommend a particular dish to customers in your restaurant.
go ahead and
What are